The promotion of the arts goes a long ways towards improving the quality of life in a community. When we come back, we're going to look at how students are encouraged to participate in the cultural arts in South San Francisco.
In January, it's so nice, while swimming on sliding ice. To sip hot chicken soup with rice, sipping once, sipping twice, sipping chicken soup with rice. You make a ride go away, to forest and roam all day, and dream about my soup all day. All right once, all right twice, eating chicken soup with rice, chicken soup with rice.
Hi, I'm Bruce Grantham, and welcome to Our Children, Our Future, a program about education in the South San Francisco Unified School District. While we all agree that the visual and performing arts play a vital role in the very fabric of our communities, we often take their existence for granted. With the invaluable support of the city, the South San Francisco Cultural Arts Commission has overseen the placement of art throughout South San Francisco. Tonight we're going to talk about how the city and the commission have gotten the youth of South San Francisco involved in art through the Youth Art Show, which took place last month. With me is Ursi Santos, City of South San Francisco Cultural Arts Specialist. Ursi, welcome. Pat Faree with the South San Francisco Cultural Arts Commission. Pat, thank you for being here. And my good friend Pat Barrett-Dragon, a teacher at Martin Elementary School, who's on the South San Francisco Art Committee. Ladies, thank you for taking the time out to join me tonight.
Thank you.
Pat, the main player in promoting art in South San Francisco and the Youth Art Show is the Cultural Arts Commission. What's the commission and what do you folks do?
We are a group of up to 15 volunteer citizens that represent a varied spectrum of the community, and we are appointed by the City Council. Our purpose is to encourage and promote cultural art activities in the community and to act as an advisory body to the City Council on matters pertaining to the arts and cultural affairs. We meet every third Thursday at 7 o'clock at the South San Francisco Municipal Services Building. We were established in 1994 by Jack Drago, who was a former mayor and art advocate. Our original goals were to define the city's image to reflect the social and economic diversity of our residents and to inventory the existing cultural landmarks of our city. Over the years, our role has expanded. And the Betty Weber Gallery was established for a venue for art exhibits in 1995. Our first youth art show was in 1997. And we started annual quarterly shows for art exhibits. Our youth art show was just last month. We have in May the general art show and photography. The bonsai show will be in July, and our porcelain dolls and quilting show will be in November.
You guys are busy people, and if people drive through the city of South San Francisco, you can't miss strategically placed pieces of art throughout South San Francisco on the main highways and freeways and parks, so forth. There's sculptures everywhere that really have made a big difference. And many people that I've driven with comment about, gee, that's new, that's beautiful. What's that doing here? It's really neat. Ursi, what's your role in working with the city of South San Francisco as a cultural arts specialist? How did you get involved with all this?
As cultural arts specialist, my job is to assist and support the commission in their activities in the promotion of the arts in the community. Essentially, that means coordinating art shows, communicating with artists and the public, publicizing the events and all the logistics required, and attending their monthly meetings to receive their direction.
Are you responsible for these very colorful posters here in front?
Oh, yes, yes. They're my way of being an artist.
and how long have you been in your position?
I've been on board since the year 2000.
Yeah. Not very long.
Not very long.
But you've been busy, just like the Art Commission has been very busy.
I've been inspired.
Excellent. Pat, how has the school district and the District Art Committee gotten involved? How did that all work out with the Art Commission and the City of South San Francisco?
We were looking for a long time for a way to have an art show that incorporated art throughout the school district, K-12. And Karen Oxenhurt, who was formerly on the Cultural Arts Commission, fought for this, really worked hard for this to make this happen. And I would go to the meetings once a year, the art committee meetings, and talk about how important it was, and she would talk about how important it was, and that enabled us to get it started.
Why a youth art show? Why? Go ahead, Pat.
Well, I asked the kids today.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of places you can show off your art if you're a kid, and they said
legitimately and not on the side of buildings and so forth.
There are a lot of adult shows, but not much for kids. And they said to show the great stuff we can do, not just what big people can do. That's what the first graders said today.
That's right on too, huh?
Yeah.
Which I guess you'd agree. I guess you'd agree. What other activities promote young people in the arts in South San Francisco, Pat?
Well, currently we have applications available for high school graduating seniors that are going to pursue a career in the arts. We have a Jack Drago Cultural Arts Youth Arts Scholarship. Each high school is asked to participate, and there is a chance for each high school to have a $500 scholarship winner. The scholarship forms are due to the Municipal Center on next Friday. And it started off as only $100, the scholarship, but we have gotten it to $500, and we earn the funds by raffles at our art shows and by fundraising events, and we also gratefully accept donations.
And Ursi, I know since you've come on board, what sort of things have you been doing with the youth especially?
Well, with the youth art shows specifically, the show expanded from a visual art presentation to incorporate other forms of art, performing art, literary art. This year, for the first time, we were able to present a theater arts group. So it was a small start, but little by little, it just seems to grow every year, and that's exciting.
So it's expanding every year, and you're including more, and we're seeing some of it here. We've been sitting around talking about art. Art is all visual, and I think we really need to take a look at the art show. So when we come back, we're going to focus on the South San Francisco Youth Art Show itself and take a look at what it's all about. So stay with us.
January is so nice, while swimming on sliding ice.
Prudential California Realty is pleased to support the South San Francisco Unified School District. With several offices located throughout the South Bay, we help home buyers realize their dreams of ownership and sellers maximize their home investment. Prudential California Realty is a longtime partner with education, having created the Education Foundation in 1992, which provides grants to teachers throughout Northern California. Prudential California Realty, your partner in real estate.
It's one of the hottest political races in California. Nevin versus Papin versus Yee. The race is on to see who will represent San Francisco and the Peninsula in the 8th Senate District Democratic primary. Watch the game as candidates square off on the critical issues. Presented by Wells Fargo. For details, go to www.pentv.tv.
Whenever there's new innovations or revolutionary technologies, chances are they've got something to do with the Silicon Valley. And that is what Tech Close-Up is all about.
Tech Close-Up is about even more than just bytes and chips. We cover the people in your community. We're all over the Bay Area. To find Tech Close-Up where you live, just go to our website at techcloseup.com.
Welcome back. We've been talking about the cultural arts in South San Francisco and the partnership between the city and the Art Commission and the school district with a focus on the Youth Art Show. Pat, how is the Youth Art Show organized? How do kids get involved in it? How do they get to show their art?
Through their teachers. Each school has a certain number of pieces they can submit to be part of the show. 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional art. And we send a note early in the school year, and teachers work with the children and start saving art. We want non-holiday art. We want something that can be viewed all year long, and pieces are saved. And it's K-12, which is nice.
Elementary, middle, and high school.
Right.
Is it competitive?
No, it's not. It's just the joy of exhibition, that we want the children to enjoy art.
Well, which is a perfect lead-in. So why don't we see the slides from the art show, and I'd like our guests to reflect a little bit on what it is that we're seeing as we take a look at some of the art from the art show. And this is the art show itself is at the Municipal Building in South San Francisco.
Yes,
is that where it took
is.
place?
One exciting thing, Bruce says, as I've been taking care and docenting and setting the art, is to see how excited children are to bring in their family members, friends, and show off not only their art, but the art of other students, other grade levels. That's exciting. They serve as little docents to their families.
Yeah.
They take them on the tour of the gallery and
Exactly.
take them right to their piece of art, I'm sure.
Not always.
Not always?
Sometimes they'll say, oh,
Okay.
here's the high schooler right here.
And we're seeing art mixed up from all different grade levels here, elementary, middle, and high school students. So you're seeing all different, you have no idea what the age group is that we're seeing, but art is art. Pat, what do you think of that one?
I love that. That should be a postage stamp.
You like the colors. You like the colors, don't you? What kind of feedback have you gotten from the art show, Pat, from students?
I just found out this week that one boy going to middle school, used to be in my first grade, is now going to take art classes because he saw the art show, which I thought was really exciting.
Inspirational. What about the organizers, from the Art Commission and from city officials and so forth? What do they say about the art show?
They are always very impressed with the quality and the different types of art that the children are able to produce, and very pleased. And also the exhibit goes to City Hall also.
Ursi?
Well, always.
Are you pleased? Are you pleased with it? I know you're.
I'm excited. I'm very pleased with it. I think the most exciting story I have is when I came on board in 2000, there was a young man who exhibited, and paths over the years have happened to cross incidentally, and I've discovered that the young man has stayed in art. He actually displayed in our general art show and has gone on to an internship. I don't know where, but that's very exciting that he has kept his hand in it.
And it's important that the students have the vehicle, like your little person said, Pat. That where do we get to show our art? That they have a vehicle, to see that 3D art, big piece.
Oh no.
Pat, there's you with a piece of 3D art. Some interesting pieces, and maybe when we come back, there's a couple on the table here in front of us, and also behind us we have a ballerina on one side. Those are my favorites. I like those.
Keith
What do you call those?
Keith Haring. They're after the style of Keith Haring, the artist Keith Haring.
And the dragons?
Yeah.
The Pat Barrett dragons?
They weren't from my class, but I love them.
It's exciting.
Bubble Baby.
Yeah, it's exciting to me to see what the teachers pull out of these students. I never cease to be amazed at the creativity they're able to get out.
We get ideas from each other, seeing the art in the show too. That's exciting.
So a lot of teachers go to the shows to view the art.
Yes, and even our administrators, I saw them attending as well.
And we wouldn't have art classes without the support of the school district, without the Board of Trustees support, and the superintendent and site administrators making sure that art's part of the curriculum at all grade levels. There's your friend again, Pat.
It says a big sign on it at the high school, "Don't touch me, I bite."
Is that what it said? Is that what it says? The little ones probably stayed away. What's going on here?
We have crafts going on each Saturday. Each year. We made hats this year. So kids have a chance to create, and the families get involved too.
At the art show?
At the art show.
So a little bit of interactive art.
So it's real exciting to see. And we all have fun. That's Candace Gianni's quilt.
And each participant receives a certificate.
Made by Ursi.
And Ursi, here's what you're talking about, including now performance art.
Yes, we had. This was one of our first companies San Francisco Ballet, South San Francisco Ballet, and the Pied Piper Players, our theatrical group that performed with us. Taloma Chamber Players performed for the first time this year with us. Armando, Puppets on Parade, always delight the children, and he performs in the community, APOP, Hawaiian Cultural Center, and Ballet Folklorico Infantil, who's been with us and was the inspiration for the poster as well.
Very nice. And again, if anybody wants to get involved in the or learn more about the Youth Art Show, they contact the Cultural Arts Commission. The information's there on the screen, right?
That's correct. Thank you.
Very good. An outstanding event in South San Francisco. Thank you very much for coming on to talk about it. When it comes to spelling, is it experience or youth that counts? Find out when we come back.
It's so nice. While swimming on sliding ice.
I'm Mark Simon.
I'm Bob Marks.
It's our favorite spectator sport.
The day of reckoning is fast approaching.
We're just going to shoot the bull.
Join Mark Simon and Bob Marks each week on The Game as they cover the Bay Area's top stories, bringing you in-depth analysis on politics, business, and sports. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get into the game. Sundays at 7:30 a.m. on WB20, Bay Area Cable Channel 13.
If you live on the peninsula, there's only one place to get the latest news on business, sports, politics, education, and your community. Peninsula TV, Channel 26, the Peninsula and South Bay's Emmy Award-winning programming resource. For more information or for a programming schedule, go to pentv.tv or call us at 650-637-1936. Peninsula TV, your community programming channel.
Real Estate with Bobby Decker is for anyone who owns a home or aspires to do so. Everything that is important to or an interesting facet of home ownership will be covered by our program. Please join us. You won't want to miss Real Estate with me, your host, Bobby Decker.
The old-fashioned spelling bee is back in motion pictures and on the stage. It's also back in South San Francisco with a spelling bee challenge between fifth graders and senior citizens at the Elks Club. Let's take a look and find out who wins out.
Your word is bolt.
Bolt. B-O-L-T. Bolt.
Crayon.
Crayon. C-R-A-Y-O-N. Crayon.
Salt.
Salt. S-A-L-T. Salt.
School.
School. S-C-H-O-O-L. School.
Soda.
Soda. S-O-D-A. Soda.
Throat.
Throat. T-H-R-O-E.
Dial.
Dial. D-I-A-L. Dial.
Watch.
Watch. W-A-T-C-H. Watch.
Fresh.
Fresh. F-R-E-S-H. Fresh.
Heart.
Heart. H-E-A-R-T. Heart.
Kid.
Kid. K-I-T-T-E-N. Kid.
Litter.
Litter. L-I-T-T-E-R.
The word is stitch.
Stitch.
Blindfold.
Blindfold. B-L-I-N-D-F-O-L-D.
Bottle.
B-R-A-I-N. Brain.
Catch.
Catch. C-H-E-C-H. Catch.
Grout.
Grout. G-R-O-U-T. Grout.
Impeach.
Impeach. I-M-P-E-A-C-H. Knit. K-N-I-T. Knit.
Operation.
Operation. O-P-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. Operation.
Ridiculously.
Correct.
Correct. Connoisseur.
Letters are difficult. C-O-N-N-O-I-S-S-E-U-R.
Correct.
Now with me is Mr. Bill Holdinghausen, elk and creator of the first Spelling Bee Challenge. And Mr. Holdinghausen, how did the idea of a Spelling Bee Challenge come about?
How did it come about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Bob Maldonado and I have lunch almost every Friday, and we were discussing it, and I told him that I thought it might be a good idea. It would be fun to do that. Now, Bob is a retired teacher, as you know. He taught for many years at El Camino High School. And so I asked him, I said, well, who do I contact? And he said, well, the person you talk to is Barbara Olds. So he gave me her phone number. I called her, and she thought it might be a good idea. We met, and we met with Joe Hunsaker, who is the director of the senior center at, I think it's Magnolia Center. Anyway, he thought it was a good idea, so we took it from there. Decided that we would put it together. I talked to the trustees of the Elks here, and they agreed to fund it, have everybody for lunch, and to make the facilities available. So here we are.
Hi, with me is Charmaine Ivason, 5th grade Spelling Bee champion from the first Spelling Bee Challenge here at the Elks Club. And Charmaine, I wanted to ask you, what school do you go to?
I go to Ponderosa.
Ponderosa. And how did you become such a good speller?
I don't know.
Well, probably your teachers help you, right?
Yeah.
And how do you feel now that you are the Spelling Bee champion for the first Spelling Bee Challenge?
I feel good.
Happy?
Yeah.
With me is Michael Baum, senior citizen spelling champion for the first Spelling Bee Challenge here at the Elks Club. And Mr. Baum, I was wondering, have you always been a good speller?
I don't think so, because when I got the spelling list and joined up for this competition, I said to my wife, I really wasn't that good of a speller in school, and I don't think I was that good. I was okay. So I had to study the list of words they sent me quite a bit to get better.
Well, what do you think about this Spelling Bee contest against the 5th graders?
I think it's great, because I think, I had to kind of get a little bit brave to do it, because I'm the kind of person who throughout my life sometimes is just afraid to do things because I thought I might not do well enough. So I have to force myself to go, and if I don't win, that's fine. And I'm glad to see the kids try. And I felt really bad when they would miss a word, because I wanted them to do so well. I wanted them to last a long time. But I think it's great that they tried, and everybody did pretty well, and of course some did better than others.
With me is Barbara Olds, superintendent of the South San Francisco School District. And Ms. Olds, what did you think about today's Spelling Bee Challenge?
Well, what a wonderful opportunity for our students to get out into the community, and also a wonderful opportunity for our seniors in the community to interact with some of our elementary school students. It was a wonderful day, and I'm very, very pleased with the way that it turned out, and thank the Elks Club for giving us the opportunity to participate.
Is it something that you would like to do next year?
Oh, I certainly hope so. When we first had the idea this year, we thought, is this something that we should be doing? But I think that the benefit that we received as far as our fifth graders, they had an opportunity to show how well they could spell, and it's something that we should do again next year. So I'm hoping that the Elks will sponsor it again next year.
And how about a challenge on spelling bee between teachers and students?
Between teachers and students, we could do that too.
That would be interesting.
Maybe we should get some of the high school students to participate.
Uh-oh. We'll have to study for that then.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Ms. Ols. And this is Boris Reyes reporting for Our Children, Our Future here at the first Spelling Bee Challenge at the Elks Club. Have a good day.
Thank you and welcome back. My guests from the first two segments regarding the youth art show stayed on set with me to watch that segment on the spelling bee, and we enjoyed it tremendously. Pat, as a school teacher, what did you think of it?
Well, I thought it was fantastic, and everybody was so involved, and just the fact that it shows kids that you just keep studying throughout your life and enjoy it.
And Ursi, we're school people, Ursi, so we kind of take this sort of thing for granted. What did you think of what you just saw?
It was wonderful seeing the two generations go at it. I just love that the children were integrating with the seniors and back and forth there on this event. Yeah.
Pat, about
and
you?
It was nice to see the senior citizen that he was studying. And,
yeah, wasn't that
yes,
neat that they had to study the list just like the kids did?
Yes, you never stop.
Yeah, right. It's a lifelong learning is
yes.
definitely what it's all about, isn't it? This might be something that is spelling an art. Is there some way that we can get the Art Commission in the city and the school district to sponsor some kind of a community-wide spelling bee, do you think? I mean, take it back and maybe we can do something like that.
We can look at it.
Maybe. Might be in our future. Thanks a lot for your reflections on that. That's all we have time for tonight. You've been watching Our Children, Our Future. I'm Bruce Grantham. We'll see you next time.